Good evening, you're watching the news on Croatian television. Speaking at a conference titled The Future of Europe, New Security and Political Challenges, Prime Minister Andrej Plenković said that the recent terror attack in Manchester was yet more proof of how real the threat of terrorism in Europe is. The PM said that this must be taken into account when discussing strengthening the EU's internal and external security. He also addressed the issue of reaching NATO's target of 2% of GDP when it comes to funding the alliance.
We discussed this during our meeting of the National Security Council. We will do our part to meet that goal. What is most important is that the funds being set aside for this raise the level of capability and functionality of our armed forces, so that they can participate in various international missions, and of course raise Croatia's level of security, which, like other countries, is facing various forms of hybrid wars or cyber attacks we have witnessed in recent weeks, and those a few months earlier.
At a NATO meeting in Brussels yesterday, President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović said that Croatia could reach NATO's funding target by 2024 at the earliest. The president also said that she had called for Bosnia and Herzegovina's speedier accession to the alliance.
Today, together with the Slovene Prime Minister and Turkish President, I openly called for the activation of the Membership Action Plan for Bosnia and Herzegovina as soon as possible. I feel that this is absolutely necessary in order to keep that country on the road to Euro-Atlantic integration.
The leaders of the G7 nations are attending a two-day summit in Sicily. The focus of the meet is on global terrorism, Syria, North Korea, the global economy, and climate change.
The North Korea problem, it's a big problem, it's a world problem, and it will be solved at some point.
There's no doubt that this will be the most challenging G7 summit in years. It is no secret that leaders who are meeting today sometimes have very different positions on topics such as climate change and trade. But our role as the EU is to do everything to maintain the unity of the G7 on all fronts.
Meanwhile, some 1,000 migrants have been transferred to the Italian port city of Salerno after being rescued from the Mediterranean Sea by the Coast Guard. Another 500 arrived in Taranto port after being saved from a shipwreck near the Libyan coast. Back at home, Prime Minister Andrej Plenković commented on the forming of a new parliamentary majority, saying that talks with various political parties were ongoing. Speaking for Croatian television, SDP Vice President Zlatko Komadina said that citizens should decide on a new parliamentary majority at early elections.
But we will not be able to decide on this alone because we don't have enough seats in Parliament. So I fear that this political horse trading in Parliament will continue and that we won't have new elections anytime soon. There are various offers here, probably some immoral ones as well. There is the carrot and the stick as we've seen in Parliament, and it's hard to believe that those MPs who just assumed their seats 6 months ago will cut the branch they are sitting on and push for early elections. So I think we'll see less politics and more horse trading, which is coming from Mr. Plenković and his colleagues.
A meeting was held today between Agrokor suppliers and representatives from banks and factoring companies regarding a standstill agreement they signed on the collection of promissory notes issued by Agrokor. In spite of recent demands from suppliers to push the date back even further, both sides reaffirmed their commitment to the original May 31st deadline. Agrokor claims that bilateral agreements between suppliers and banks will ensure a satisfactory solution to the promissory note problem. A roundtable titled 25 Years of Croatia's Membership of the United Nations was held in Zagreb today. Croatia joined the UN on May 22, 1992. The roundtable gathered politicians from across the political spectrum, with all of them agreeing that Croatia had succeeded on the international stage.
We have truly gone from a country receiving assistance to one that gives assistance to others, one that is contributing to peace and stability globally, and we're doing that through the United Nations, but also through the European Union and NATO.
In light of Croatian Armed Forces Day this Sunday, a number of infantry, air force, and naval bases throughout the country have opened their doors to the public. Citizens are invited to meet with military personnel and view the equipment on display.
Of course, we are pleased to be able to promote the security of our coastal areas and for people to know that we are here because of them, that we are a source of support to the people of Pula and all citizens.
Today is National Organ and Tissue Donor Day. It also marks the 10th anniversary of Croatia's membership of Eurotransplants, an international organization that assists in coordinating organ transplants. Croatia is the global leader in terms of number of transplants per million citizens. Last year, 191 kidney, 121 liver, and 35 heart transplantations were performed in Croatian hospitals.
I'm 35 years old. I had a liver transplant 7.5 years ago. I was asking myself, because it was all very difficult, if I would ever be able to be a mother.
Taking a quick look at sports, in the final of the Croatian Basketball Championships, Cibona beat Cedevita 72-67 last night to take a 2-1 lead in their best-of-5 series. Game 4 will be played on Sunday. And now the forecast for tomorrow. Predominantly sunny with some passing cloud cover in the interior. There will be a mild to moderate northerly and northeasterly throughout the country. The coast will see strong gusts in places and a northwesterly in the afternoon. Morning lows of 7 to 12 degrees Celsius inland, 13 to 18 on the Adriatic, will give way to highs of 22 to 27 degrees, slightly cooler in mountainous areas. The 3-day forecast for the interior calls for sunny skies and warmer temperatures. It will also be pleasant and sunny on the coast. And that wraps up the news. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night.